This is the last in the series, and I'm calling it Lead Me, and it comes from the last part of Psalm 139. It's a plea: search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there's any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. We've come to the last in the series, and hopefully by now we're craving to be known more instead of hiding in the bushes, hoping we won't be found out. Such is the case with this writer, because he's now concluding with a prayer to be searched, known, tested, and led. The first part, he asks God to search his heart. There's no fear present because he realized that being known by God is a good thing. We can expose every room in our heart, from the dark ones that have been closed off for years to the ones we've locked and not allowed anyone in. And right after asking this, he asks God to test him and know his anxious thoughts. When we invite God to do a search, anxiety might arise from past hurts, but we can trust that he will calm our anxieties as he searches. Have you ever been burglarized? We have. It was the most humiliating and scariest thing ever, knowing that someone burst into our home uninvited, rummaged through our drawers, and took our things. It took me years to get over the fear of an intruder stepping over the boundaries into our private space. Have you ever had a pest control company and search your premises for rodents that you knew were roaming in your garage? That's a good feeling when the guy shows up with a tank of poison to eradicate the intruders by setting traps or poison, and we soon know that we can sleep soundly again without fear of these unwelcome guests. Both of those scenarios are different. One is an unwelcome intruder taking what belongs to us, and the other one is a welcome superhero of sorts, ridding us of what's harmful to us. And asking God to search our hearts is more like the second. We ask him to come in power, grace, healing, and hope, to search the nest in our hearts where droppings have occurred, if you will, and place our heart that is overrun with harmful attitudes and hurts back into freedom and peace. He shows up, knocks on the door of our hearts, and we either say, "Come in, I'm a little afraid, but test me and see what's in there," or we push him away and we stay in our present condition, one that will eventually lead to our demise, much the same as a house left to rodents. So are we ready to invite him in? He's not coming in to cross boundaries and take things from us, but rather to go into dark corners and sweep away all that's hurting us. Why wouldn't we want that? We do now that we know how much he loves us. And the first part of this prayer, the writer asks God to see if there's any offensive way in him and lead him in the way everlasting. During my decades of walking with God, I've been afraid at times to sit in intimacy while I listen to his voice, completely fearful that he's going to ask me something difficult or make life not fun or criticize my faults. Those fears are unfounded and have no truth in them when we realize how he knows us, how we're part of his DNA, how he never leaves us. He's always in the same position with his arms wide open, and he's the answer to our deepest of longings. So when fears and thoughts arise, I can walk away from that intimate experience in his presence in frustration, or I can sit still while he checks me over and then leads me to higher ground. He's never about setting our hearts under a microscope so that he can pick it apart. He's so about dusting off what's dirty so we can feel fresh and clean and move us forward into real life joy and peace. That's a whole new spin now on being searched and being known after reading through this chapter verse by verse, as we relate completely to the writer and all of his anxious thoughts, his indignation at those who seek to harm him, and then this plea at the end to be known. Isn't that what we all want? We just want someone to speak peace to our hearts, take care of those that are against us, and take us by the hand toward life. It's scary to take the hand of someone we're afraid of, but hopefully now those fears have been put to rest and your hand is open. There's a song we used to sing a long time ago when contemporary Christian music first got its start. And we even had the words on our shirt that said, "You gotta know," UGADANO, you gotta know the Wanu, and then MAIJA. And it looked like a foreign language, but if you read it phonetically, it said, "You gotta know the one who made you." And then it says, "He's the love that we all want." So now that we know the one that's made us, let's be still and let him know us. In fact, let's ask him to know us, to search us, and then see if we don't exclaim in the process, "This is too wonderful for me. Lead me in the way everlasting."